Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, my wonderful fellow Stardust. Welcome to another glorious day. Without divine suppression, we atheists find love, happiness, and purpose in every new day, without a God demanding for obedience, and without the violent threat of eternal torture. Let us praise ourselves and rejoice the freedom of thought that we enjoy in our valuable atheist lives. Thanks for tuning in. And the sweet mother of Gandalf, today there is another matter that I want to share with you, because recently Christian apologist Mike Winger made a video in which he proposes a challenge to atheists, a challenge that I find to be pretty absurd and actually quite an insult to critical thinking. So, let's listen to what Mike Winger has got to say.
My challenge for atheists is this. When you're dealing with the topic of God's existence, Jesus' resurrection, the evidence for the Bible, that sort of thing, no sarcasm, no self-righteous posturing allowed.
Okay, we're only 10 seconds into Mike Winger's challenge, and his reasoning already is completely flawed. Mike Winger suggests that atheists are self-righteous. What? I suppose Mike Winger is smart enough to understand the irony of that. You see, all an atheist does is not believing your God claim. And there are atheists who go one step further and who say that God actually doesn't exist. But even they don't claim to know everything or anything else for that matter based upon their atheism. An atheist doesn't come knocking at your door on a Sunday morning. He doesn't demand your obedience, and he doesn't threaten you with eternal torture. So most atheists aren't self-righteous enough to actively force their message upon you. That posture is mostly reserved for Christians. An atheist just says, look, you claim that a God exists, and I don't believe that claim. Even I, the one and only Sound of Science, merely respond to Christians. Look, if it wasn't for you Christians flooding YouTube with your God claims, I would be quietly sitting in the corner of my basement, waiting for something to happen. But it isn't so. Every single day I discover new Christian videos full of Bible quotes that are not supported by any evidence, and it's worse. Every day I discover new Christian videos that clearly discriminate women, gay people, and non-Christians, and that is just plainly wrong. So I ask you, why so serious? We simply need to refute that and stand strong against that kind of behavior. And the atheist says that to Christians who claim that their God is the only true God. All the other 4,000 gods are fake. Christians who claim that their God is perfect. He doesn't make any mistake. Christians who claim that their God is all-knowing and possesses all knowledge in existence. Christians who claim that their holy book is the only truth. All the other holy books are wrong. Thinking that you represent the one and only truth is the definition of self-righteous posturing. And you, Mike Winger, dare to suggest that atheists are self-righteous. Perhaps you should first reflect a bit on the posture of your own religion. And then comes the sarcasm part. Mike Winger challenges atheists not to use sarcasm in discussions about the existence or non-existence of a God. Why? Why would that not be allowed? What is your problem with sarcasm? Sarcasm in general is just a humorous way of demonstrating the ridiculousness of something. It is used all over the world throughout the centuries in politics, in communications, in theater, philosophy, and literature. But for Christianity, sarcasm somehow is a problem. Just grow up. You don't have a copyright on not getting your feelings hurt. If you think our sarcasm is hollow and doesn't contain substantial arguments, then it should be easy for you to dismantle it, and that would be to your own advantage. But quite often, sarcasm in debates does contain a substantial argument, and maybe that is your problem. But in general, all sarcasm is a specific way of expressing an argument, and there is nothing wrong with that. So no, you're not going to get a sarcasm-free safe space from atheists. Just apply the proper arguments yourself to counter sarcasm. It's not that difficult. So let's continue and listen to what else Mike Winger has got to tell us.
I think if you watch a debate between a Christian and an atheist, you will see that the vast majority of the stuff that comes off the atheist side is sarcasm and self-righteous posturing.
Well, you're wrong about that. I see atheists mostly use evidence, arguments, and critical thinking in debates, and they sometimes use sarcasm as a method to express their arguments. If you want to avoid sarcasm, then you should scale down the ridiculousness of your claims. And again, accusing atheists of being self-righteous is ridiculous. It is Christianity that claims to represent the one and only true God and the one and only true Holy Book. That is what self-righteousness is, and Christianity is full of it.
And if you just take those two things away, that kind of mockery and scoffing, it has a very different effect on you, and you can maybe see clearly enough to at least weigh the evidence thoughtfully.
No, and no. There is not much more to counter here. I think I sufficiently explained that there is no reason not to use sarcasm in a debate when the opposition makes ridiculous claims. And I showed clearly that accusing atheists of being self-righteous is preposterous. Therefore, it's now time to unfold my challenge for Christians. There goes. This is my challenge for Christians. When you are in a debate with atheists, and you are dealing with the topic of the supposed existence of your God, no references to the Bible allowed. Why? Because the Bible is a violent book full of magical claims that, to me, feels like a total mockery of everything that I've ever felt to be true and just. A talking snake, a guy resurrecting from the dead, a guy talking planets into existence, etc. All these claims seem to be rather nonsensical and unsubstantiated. And a God telling how to beat up slaves. A God apparently being fine with a proposal to put gay people and non-believers to death. And a God actually killing all babies on earth by drowning them. Shows how violent the Bible can be. When people reverence the Bible as a serious source of knowledge and reason, that feels like a total insult and mockery to me. That book contains magical claims like a talking snake. That same book contains phrases that suggest that I, as a non-believer, should be put to death. On top of that, the Bible threatens me with eternal torture in hell if I do not obey the Christian God. I regard that as evil and as a grave insult to my personal beliefs, integrity, and moral values. If people express support for a book that contains such threats, it feels like my personal safety is compromised. But if you take away those two things, the unsubstantiated magic claims and the violent threats, it has a very different effect on you, and you can maybe see clearly enough to at least weigh the evidence thoughtfully. So, when you're in a debate with atheists and you're dealing with the topic of the supposed existence of your God, no references to the Bible allowed. That is my challenge to Christians. Thanks for watching. But while you're here, please consider to subscribe to my channel, because that'll help me to spread the sound of science.